All right, so this is a congregational song. We come together, so sing along if you'd like. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary.
I can feel it.
Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
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 We come together
in the name of love. We come together.
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 We come together
in the name of love. All right, next verse. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves me and I love you too.
God loves me and I love you too.
Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
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 We come together
in the name of love. We come together.
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 We come together
in the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, Namaste, I bow to you.
Namaste, I bow to you.
Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
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 We come together
in the name of love. We come together.
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 We come together
in the name of love. Woo!
What a great beginning. I bow to you, Alexa Ehrlich and Lauren James, and good morning, everybody. Good to see y'all, some new faces and some old faces we haven't seen in a while. I'm Reverend Kimberly Hawkins. I'm officiating today. We say Reverend Dr. Linda Reppond is our guest speaker. We are an inclusive, progressive spiritual community, and we like to say and do welcome you, no matter where you may happen to be on your own personal spiritual journey. We believe there are many paths, one God. So let's see, a couple other announcements. Wendy Wellborn, one of our practitioners, is holding High Watch. That means she's praying throughout the service for the highest and best for everybody here, that we might all receive what we need this morning. If you haven't already done so, please turn off your cell phones or put them in airplane mode. Sometimes that interferes with our broadcast. Hello to everybody out there on Streamland as well. And before we go further, it's the first Sunday of the month. So if your birthday's in June, I'm going to invite you to stand for just a minute so we can give you some love and sing to you our version of Happy Birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. We sure do love you. Happy birthday.
And now I'm going to turn it back over to the musicians. It's time to take our collective deep breath. Maybe it's the first one we've had a chance to take all week. I hope not, as we prepare for our invocation and reading. Lauren and Alexa.
I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you away help me awake to all the wonder that I am. You long to show me all the joy I'm worthy of. You're here to remind me how much I'm truly loved. You're here to remind me how much I'm truly loved.
How much we're truly loved. How true that is. Let's take a moment, if you're comfortable. Close your eyes. Let's go within for a moment. How good it is to take a pause, to sit quietly, to receive that peace that passeth all understanding, that peace that comes only from the one divine presence. Always offering perfect peace, always offering a path ahead, guidance, love, connection, abundance of all good, that power that can turn any experience into a path forward, that power that beckons to us to be still and listen. We hear it in the silence. We become its hands, its voice, its feet here on earth. We are part of that magnificent love that Spirit is. We cannot be separate from it. We're made of God's stuff, each and every one, in a unique way, fashioned in God's image, but with a different look, a different mission, a different heart for service. It's so good to come together in community where we do indeed recognize that love in each other. I know that this service unfolds just beautifully, that each of us receives some nugget that we're yearning for, whether it's in the message or the song or just a realization as we sit in this beautiful stillness, welcoming the divine within to communicate, because it stands ready to do so always. So I bless each one here. I bless all our volunteers, our musicians, our Sunday crew, all of those listening online. And while I'm at it, let us bless people who are worshiping in faith communities all across the world, whether it's a church, a mosque, an ashram, a temple, a yoga mat, or maybe just in nature. We are one, and there is only one divine life. We are it. In gratitude for this chance to come together, in gratitude to speak these words of truth, I release this word into the law, knowing that as all prayers, this one has already been heard. It's already done in the mind of God, and we say together, and so it is. Oh, I'm not used to being practitioner. Our practitioner, Teresa, is having some health issues this morning, so I'm standing in for her. Today is the first Sunday of Pride Month. And so I've chosen to read some comments from Harvey Milk, the wonderful visionary and human rights leader who became one of the first openly gay elected officials in the United States when he won a seat on San Francisco Board of Supervisors in 1977. Milk's unprecedented, loud, and unapologetic proclamation of his authenticity as an open gay candidate for public office and his subsequent election gave never before experienced hope to lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people everywhere at a time when the community was encountering widespread hostility and discrimination. He pioneered the building of coalitions between diverse groups, women, Asians, Hispanics, the disabled. He even forged, believe it or not, an agreement between the Teamster Union and gay bar owners. He was quite charismatic, but he was also accustomed to receiving daily death threats. Milk was aware of the likelihood that he would be assassinated, and his remarkable career was indeed tragically cut short nearly a year after he took office. He had recorded a version of his will to be read in the event of his assassination, which contained the now famous statement, "If a bullet should enter my brain let that bullet destroy every closet door. The following remarks, I think, summarize Harvey Milk's vision of oneness and freedom for all. I can't forget the looks on faces of people who've lost hope, but be they gay, be they seniors, be they black, looking for an almost impossible job, be they Latins trying to explain their problems and aspirations in a tongue that's foreign to them. I personally will never forget that people are more important than buildings. It takes no compromise to give people their rights. It takes no money to respect the individual. It takes no political deal to give people freedom. It takes no survey to remove repression. Today, the Harvey Milk Foundation continues to work for his vision of equality and equality and authenticity for everyone, everywhere. And so it is.
One power, invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power, indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the Lord. We speak so many languages, have different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same. We'll remember once we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem or Heaven's Door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the Lord in you and me. One power. One power, one power, one power, one power, one power. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anchor we abandon, for its love that's most deep. It's one power, one power, one power. What we are is one power. Oh, it's the power of the love that lives forever in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me.
I got nothing else to say. That's the thing. Oh my God. Hi, I'm Reverend Linda Reppond. I'm happy to be here today. Before I dive into the talk, I'm going to do a little commercial. You got to know it's coming from me. Today, the teens are on the other side of that door. I'm trying really hard to keep my consciousness in this room, not over there. They are getting ready to serve you a fabulous baked potato bar as a fundraiser for Teen Camp. It's got all the fixing. You couldn't think of anything you would want to have on a potato that is not in there. And they will be setting all of that up. And in addition to that, Roxanne, are you here? Yeah, in the very back of the room, the mom of Hannah, one of our teens that's going to camp, has set up a massage chair in here. So if you'd like to get a little chair massage for donation, that's available too. I'm sure there'll be a lineup for that, but just watch and you'll get your moment. I just want to also invite you, if you're so inclined, to sponsor one of our teens to go to camp. We would welcome that. It costs about $600, including transportation and all the stuff that goes with it. The camp registration is $525. So if you would like to write a check for a half a scholarship or a whole scholarship, you can just put it in the little basket over there, and then you get a free potato after that. How about that? For those of you who are online, you can go to the donate button and just designate your gift as Teen Camp, and we would accept that too. So I love how generous this church is, and I have to tell you that every time we've done an event like this, and for some reason you guys really like the baked potato part, so it's kind of backed by popular demand. The teens are looking in this basket and they go, that guy just paid $20 for a freaking potato. Like, no, he paid $20 so you would go to camp. And you gave him a potato. So that's how it works. And so I invite you to just stay and be generous like you always are. So our talk today is one that we really don't talk about, in my experience, in Science of Mind churches. And we're going to spend the whole month on it, so get ready. And it's about the body, about being in our bodies, loving our bodies, being present in our bodies, a lot of body stuff. So there's a reason we don't talk about it very much. And the first is really my request to you, is whatever is said today, lay down your weapons. The ways you beat yourself up, the stories you tell yourself, it's like, well, then if it's true that my mind creates, then I made this happen. All of that stuff, you know what they are. Lay down your weapons for this conversation, because we can have a deeper conversation if you're not twisting it into another way to beat yourself up. Deal? The other reason we don't talk about it very often, at least I know I don't talk about it very often, is I have a policy, which you may have heard over the years, and I want to speak here, of telling you about things I have already handled. You know, I like to tell you prescriptively, like back when this happened to me, I mastered it this way. Well, this is my issue in life. 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times I have dealt with body stuff. It's just like every time it comes around, it's like I heal a little bit more, and then there's more. So I don't like to talk about it because I don't like you to see the parts of me that are unfinished and still in process. And I think that's true of a lot of my colleagues, and that may just be why you don't hear about this very often from the pulpit. I think that might be true, because we all have unhealed stuff. So I want to start by giving you the science of mind perspective. I have rediscovered this little book called The Basic Ideas of Science of Mind, and it's actually reprinted back in 1957 or something from Science of Mind magazine, things that Ernest Holm was saying. But you'll recognize this as being, those of you who are regulars here, as being the essence of what we teach in specifically relation to the body. In the matter of habits, we found that this very accommodating and capable function of mind will accept any thought pattern we consistently give it, and will, from then on, automatically maintain it for us. So whatever, garbage in, garbage out, whatever you're feeding it, the mind, the capital M mind, which is your source self, is automatically making that the message over and over and over again. So when you're feeding yourself I'm ugly, I don't deserve, this is wrong with me, that's wrong with me, this is wrong with me. That's what your mind accepts, and that is actually the way prayer works. So if you're going to put in the negative messages, that is exactly what you're going to get back. He goes on to say, we can be more healthy and prosperous and can advance our own welfare in many ways by simply deciding what it is we want to be or do and giving the matter enough conscious attention so that it becomes a habitual thought pattern. That is the law of mind maintaining it for us. The law of mind is obedient to conscious direction. So the flip side of that is when we start to give ourselves really clear, positive messages about ourselves, we can counteract that story, that whatever it is that we're going on and on and on about. It's time to make peace with our bodies, just to make peace with the level of war that goes on for most of us inside. Occasionally it spills over into the outside, like whatever, just some offhand comment that is self-denigrating. But mostly it's a war that goes on inside of us, and it's really time to make peace. Whether that's with the diagnosis, whether it's with an injury that you're wanting to heal, whether it's a disability, whether it's chronic illness, whatever the story is that you're living with and praying about, those are the things that we must make peace with. We just must make peace with what is. It's not, we can't wait to make peace. You can't make peace. I'll make peace with my body when it's 20 pounds lighter. I'll make peace with my body when I, get my eyebrows done. Whatever the story, when I heal myself from this particular ache and pain, then I will love my body. It don't work that way. It really doesn't work that way. We have to start by owning the positive message, seeing what's available to us now. And the reason I say that is because when we wait to be healed, we are living in a future reality. Life happens only in the present reality. You only get to live in this moment now. So every time we're out there futuring about how great it'll be when I look like this or feel like this or be like this, we're not getting to live now. We are letting go of the most precious thing, which is being alive right now in this moment. So we can't wait. We just have to start with exactly where we are. And I gotta tell you, that can be incredibly uncomfortable for me. I really, really want to be in the future somewhere, in a fictional version of myself I have thrown out there. And it's just not what's meant to be. Really, the task is to find something in where I am now that I can raise and praise. So think about this body, even when you're judging it, think about the miraculous life force that is flowing through you right now. Right now, sitting here in church, your cells are recreating themselves. There are new cells being birthed. Your blood is flowing through your body. Your liver and your kidneys are purifying it so that to your health and benefit. On and on and on. They are miracles. Our bodies are incredible gifts. Yes? So let's find what there is in the yes that we can raise and praise. And then we start extending it to the places where we are not as happy, not as comfortable. This is the essence of my faith journey around all of this. I believe to the bottom of my toes that I came here on purpose, that I took form in this place and time for a reason. And my soul, higher self soul, knows what that is, even though I forget most of the time. The essence of me taking form was so intricately planned by the divine itself, by my higher self, that I got exactly the right parents. Oh, please, God, really? I did. I got exactly the right upbringing. I got exactly the right partner in life. I got exactly what I deserved and believed I deserved, according to a blueprint that was created before I took form. Can you believe that? If not, just like suspend disbelief for a minute, because we're going to play with this for just a little bit. If that were true, then everything I call into my experience might well be a part of that reason I took form. Some of the hardest things in my life have become the moment to open to change, for something different to happen. Think about it, those moments when you lost the partner or the job or the whatever, or that you didn't get, or you got the diagnosis, or that moment, when you look back over a period of time, maybe not right away, did it not like shift you in a way that you could not be where you are now without it? I'm seeing the nods. So that's how I believe it works. But I do believe that at our deepest level, in our soul, our very highest self, we already know what our journey is. We came here knowing. We forgot when we got here, but we came here knowing. And so all of the things that are showing up as my reality, why the heck not bless them? Why not say yes, because I did call this in? I may hate it that I called it in. I may not even understand it at this point, but I can just take as on a grain of salt. What if I called it in? What is the gift in this for me? What is the gift in a lifetime of gaining and losing weight? And, believe me, you guys haven't known me that long, but I have done 100-pound swings in my life. I have gained and lost a lot of weight. Collectively, it's probably an elephant or something, but it's a lot. Out of some incredible need of my soul to complete this journey. And I can tell you a lot of reasons, because since I've been working on this a while, I have a lot of reasons. I don't know that I still know them all. But some of it is that I am a big presence. I'm a powerful person. I pack a big wallop, and sometimes people kind of back off because like she's a bit much. Being heavy is a way to make me kind of just like you. Like I'm not perfect. I can just I'm close to perfect, but I have this thing. So I see that. I see that it actually serves me to just kind of be able to be not be so scary to people, be one of the crowd. I definitely see that it serves me in the places where I'm scared to move forward, whether that's in relationship or in career or wherever that it's a way that I keep myself stuck. Because I fly pretty far out there. I scare myself sometimes how far I go out there. You see what I'm saying? Whatever it is for you, just peel back the onion a little bit and look at, how does this serve me? why did I, in my infinite wisdom before I took form, see this as the path of my life? What do I have to learn here? And it's not, I promise you, it is not, let's learn this freaking lesson so I can get out of here and move on to something else. You know, like as soon as I learn the lesson, I'll be healed, right? Now, none of this will be there. That may or may not be true. It sometimes is. But the healing journey is not to just advance to the next level. It's not a video game, you know. You can advance to other levels, but this reminds me of a story of a woman who went to a spiritual retreat that was focused on connecting with our divine body essence, something about loving your body in some, spiritual kind of way. And she was scared because she had some body issues, and but she also wanted to deal with them. So she, bucked up, paid the money, went to the retreat, and it was going pretty well for a while. And then one night after dinner, the facilitator said, so the activity of the evening is that each of you will stand up and dance for a complete song in front of all of the rest of us. And everything in her being went into total terror. Like, that's the last thing on the planet she would do. I paid money to do this. Are you kidding me? She was terrified. So much so that she couldn't even really see her classmates' experience and be there for them, because she was just like dreading the moment when it was her turn. Have you ever been there? So it was her turn. She stood up and went into the middle of the circle, and just in her terror, just like held herself so tight. And she looked around the room, and tears streaming down her face. She couldn't do any more. She couldn't even move because she was so aware of her self-hate, of her unwillingness to have anyone actually see her. The song was over. Nobody said a word. Every one of them just got up and formed a circle around her and held her. And what she said later was, that was my turning point. That nobody tried to fix me, that nobody tried to make it better, that nobody tried to deny my pain. They just saw me, all of me. I just kind of went, if they can see me, I guess it's time for me to start seeing me. Change happens. Ernest Holmes, well, I said this earlier. Ernest Holmes, in this reading I gave you, really gives us the prescription for how to go about changing how we are with ourselves. So really the task, I think, in front of me, in front of all of us, is to keep laying down the weapons, to really stop the negative messages and start replacing them with positive messages. Well, so first of all, it would be useful, I suspect, to make a list of things that are positive message about this thing that you hate and wish would go away. So whatever that is, if it's, whatever it is, start just defining some positive messages that could go in its place. That so when you start to turn it around, you're replacing it. You're not just going into, what is that I'm not going to do again? You have a positive thing in your mind to say it. And there's a prayer, you probably heard me say this before, that I love, that we teach in our financial freedom class. It's called the stop prayer. Have I talked to you about the stop prayer? It goes like this. When you hear yourself saying in your mind one of those things that, like, even like looking at something and saying, this is going to make me fat, whatever, the message is, that is the message you don't want to say to yourself. The stop prayer is, clap your hands like that and say, stop. That is not the truth of me. Say that out loud. That is not the truth of me. The truth of me is, and then you say that phrase that you've already figured out in your mind that you're going to say in moments like that. So, but the prayer is stop. Just stop that story. That's not the truth. That's not who I am. And just like, and it's a little weird. You'll see people, from this community, like out in traffic, go, stop. You're not talking to you, talking about your So it's, and then after the stop, the task for us is to make a decision about what we want to do, have, or be instead. Not just like a wishful thinking, but like claim it. You know, I want this. I want to move through life without pain in my body. Whatever I want. And this is a thing that Abraham teaches a lot, and I'm a student of Abraham for a long time. And she has a thing that she calls the TBar. Gosh, I don't know what she calls it now. She called it TBar a long time ago. And it's just like, put your intention up here, and then make a T on a page, you know, across the top, down the middle. And on this side of the page, write down all of the things you will actually do in relation to that intention. But they are only things that you actually will do. That's yours to do. And then there's all of the things that happen in the realm of the divine. You write those on the other side of the paper. And it really comes down to, I am the what side of the paper, and spirit is the how side of the paper. So if I'm going to say, I want to own a house, then God's got to bring me the understanding about what I need to add to that list, or just get me a house. However it works. But it's like, that's the how that happens is not mine. And in fact, we stop ourselves from being big and playing big by thinking we have to know the how before we can even claim the what. We don't. We do not have to know how. We just get to claim this is what, and then hand it all over to Spirit with the prayer of show me what's mine. Because there may be things that are mine to do. You know, maybe I need to put on my tennis shoes and walk out the door and go for a walk every day. You know, maybe I need to, do something different than what I've been doing. But rather than me taking charge of that list, turn that over to the Spirit side of the page and say, inform me if it's mine to do. What can I do? Because I am completely committed to this as a direction. But show me what's mine. And for me, it's also important to say, show me what's not mine. Show me the ways that I am grabbing the reins back and trying to do it Linda's way, because Linda's so freaking smart about everything. I got my idea how this is supposed to go. So it's to me, it's equally important to say, this is what I'm not going to be doing. The rest is in True Science of Mind. I'm going to leave Abraham over here. In True Science of Mind, the rest is to give it all to Spirit. So whatever word works for you, I call it God most of the time, but if that's a trigger word for you, Spirit, source energy, higher power, whatever it is, at that point, our job is to stay in the place of the what we're calling in and turn everything else over to Spirit. I do not know how to get there. I do not know what to do. Show me. And those of you who've walked this path, and I know for a lot of people in this room, this is a way of life. Just I'm yours. Show me. I don't know what to do. Show me. What I'm shown for myself is sometimes kind of like, really? I wonder if I'm making that up or if that's God. I don't really? I'm supposed to take vitamin D? What? Just whatever. I'm expecting something, but I wasn't. It comes in some form I'm not expecting. So I have sort of doubled down on that to say, God, show me this is from you. So if I'm like, if I want to know what to do, I want to know for sure that this is not bright idea getting in the way again, that this is the divine. And for me, that is numbers that alliterate. So inevitably, when I get that sort of God thing, I look at the clock and it's 11:11, or it's 3:33, or whatever. It's okay, whatever. And sometimes that's a street number. It doesn't have to be a clock. It can be. But for me, that's kind of the deal I made with God. Like if I need to show me prayer, show me alliterating numbers, and there they are. I'm like, okay, got it. This is good. Because that is, for me, the task forever is give it up, give it over to God. Give it up, give it over to God. It's like not mine. And when I can walk through this life that way, I am walking in complete freedom. I am not worried about anything because I know that my prosperity is assured. I know that my health is assured. I know that my body is functioning perfectly. And I just let whatever shows up in the realm of circumstance around me that might go, that's not true, look at this, you got this going on. No, I am in this centered in my God self that sees past this circumstance into the truth of all of life. And I'm just going to hang in there, me with God doing all the how-to and me just doing the presence of mind to be there. I have a poem I want to read you in closing. It's written by Holly Holden. Today I asked my body what she needed. Today I asked my body what she needed, which is a big deal considering my journey of not really asking that much. I thought she might need more water, or protein, or greens, or yoga, or supplements, or movement. But as I stood in the shower, reflecting on her stretch marks, her roundness where I would like flatness, her softness where I would like firmness, all those conditioned wishes that form a bundle of never quite rightness, she whispered very gently, "Could you just love me like this?" Let's pray. Letting go of everything, all of the stories, all of the ways we have been in the world, all of the things we've told ourselves. We stand in this moment fully aware of the divine infinite presence of love itself, God itself, everywhere present. I feel it pouring through my veins, being the very truth of my physical as well as mental and spiritual being. All of that, and I know that for myself, I know that for every person listening to this talk. God in, God within, God without, nothing but one presence, one thing, living and breathing each of us. How good is that? And so I simply take this moment to speak on behalf of all of us, a clarity of truth, a clarity of understanding about my physical beingness, of who I physically am in the world. I am that, in form. And it's perfect. I'm perfect. My body's perfect. And I let go of everything that would speak otherwise to myself. And no, that is not the truth of me. Stop. That's not me. The truth of me is that I am the beloved of the beloved, in form, in my physical form. And so I bless every part of my being. I bless every piece of my body. I bless every system operating within my body. I know absolutely that all is well, regardless of presenting circumstances, regardless of what might be going on around me, regardless of what I've believed in the past. I know in this moment, all is truly, truly well. And so I invoke Spirit's help in remembering that as my truth, that all is truly well. Help me to remember, help me to see it, help me to claim my truth when that which would pull me away from it is speaking so loudly. I know I am perfect just the way I am. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I let it be. And so it is. Amen.
Stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me, as me.
you for the gorgeous music. And Dr. Linda, thank you. I just want y'all to know that this woman is a big presence in my life. And I'm so grateful for you. Thank you. Thank you for your very vulnerable, authentic message. Yeah. Time now, our ushers are going to come forward. Patricia and Ellen, thank you. Time for our giving of our tithes and offerings. I'm going to invite you to say our giving affirmation after me if you would. Graciously I give, from a place of love. Knowing that as I give, so do I richly receive. You may write a check either to CSL Rogue Valley, CSL RV, or Unity. There's if you're going to give cash, we encourage you to use the envelopes for 1 cent or the other. They're in the seat backs. Our online viewers, we encourage you and thank you for donating either on our Facebook page or on our website. And I want to acknowledge that many of us give online, and so if you do so and you're a regular giver, thank you, and maybe just bless the basket as it goes by. So we're going to let you guys give us a little music while we pass the basket. We're ready. So just a few announcements before we go have baked potatoes.